Hi, Mr. Jeffrey. Now I will share a real moral issue that happened at a family-run restaurant. Let's begin with the story. This story happened when Manager Y was newly promoted after showing great dedication and strong management skill. Manager X had been working at the restaurant for several years. When Y was promoted to the same level as X, the owner expected them to work well together. However, Manager X began feeling jealous and started spreading false story about Y to the junior staff, claiming that she was lazy and difficult to work with. This created a toxic working environment. The junior staff began ignoring Y's instruction and treated her disrespectfully. The teamwork and respect among the employees worsened. Around the same time, the owner noticed that the petty cash didn't match the receipt. Upon investigation, it was discovered that Manager X had been using petty cash for personal expenses while falsely claiming they were business related. Eventually, Manager Y approached to the owner and explained the disrespect and hostility she was facing from the team. She spoke honestly without accusing anyone directly, asking the owner to look into the matter. After investigating, the owner confronted Manager X, who initially denied any wrongdoing but later admitted to both taking the money and spreading rumors about Y. The owner issued a formal warning, after which Manager X decided to resign. Manager Y, on the other hand, remained calm and professional throughout the situation. She did not seek revenge or speak badly about Manager X. Instead, she continued to work with honesty, courage, and integrity, eventually restoring trust and harmony within the team. Now that we understand the background, let's move on to identify the vices and virtues shown by each person. Starting with Manager X, his first vices is deception, which is the deficiency of honesty. Manager X spread false story about Manager Y and made up petty cash record to hide personal use. He initially denied the accusation when confronted. This showed insincerity, avoidance of responsibility, and lack of trustworthiness. By concealing the truth and misleading others, he worsened the ethical problem instead of correcting it. His second vices is overindulgence, which is the excess of temperance. By misusing petty cash for personal expenses, Manager X displayed the lack of self-control and moderation. This indulgence in personal desire leads to financial harm, loss of trust, and ultimately his resignation. Now, moving on to Manager White, who demonstrated strong virtue. The virtue is courage, which lies between cowardice and recklessness. Manager White showed moral courage by calmly approaching the owner to explain the problem. She avoided cowardice by refusing to stay silent, and she avoided recklessness by not publicly accusing Manager X or creating a scene. Her actions demonstrate calm judgment, reason, and moral balance. Moving on, Aristotle believed ethics is about being a good person, not just doing the right action. The goal is eudaimonia, or human flourishing. Virtue develops through habit, and the golden mean helps us to find the balance between extreme, neither too little or too much. The first golden mean analysis of Manager X is honesty. An honest person is truthful, consistent, and transparent. Honesty lies between deception, which is too little of honesty, and crude honesty, which is too much of honesty. Manager X shown deception by hiding the truth, misleading colleagues, and downplaying the seriousness of his action. His action represent a vice of deficiency. Next, the golden mean of temperance. A temperate person exercises moderation in desired pleasures. Manager X lacked this balance, indulging excessively by using petty cash for personal purpose. This represents a vices of excess. Moving on to Manager Y. The golden mean analysis of courage shows that she acted with balanced bravery. She avoided cowardice by refusing to stay silent and avoided recklessness by approaching the situation calmly and professionally. This demonstrates a virtuous character guided by a reason and moral balance. Now that we have seen the moral contrast between both individuals, let's look at how Manager X can rebuild his character. First was deception. So he needs to build the opposite habit through consistent, truthful action. Action step 1. Acknowledge and apologize. Manager X should admit his action were wrong and apologize to Manager Y and the owner for misleading colleagues and misusing company fund. By openly acknowledging his mistake, he begins to break the pattern of deception. Action step 2. Practice proactive transparency. Next, He should form a habit of being transparent before problems arise. For example, he could schedule regular updates with the owner or manager to share progress and challenges. This helped him to practice the golden mean of honesty, being truthful with tact and openness. Now, let's move on to the second virtue, temperance. His vices was overindulgence, so he needs to strengthen the self-control and moderation. Action step 1. Mindful delay rule, the 5-minute rule. When tempted to misuse resources of overindulgence, pause for 5 minutes before acting. This allows manager X reflection and reasoned decision making. Action step 2. Value reminder card. Besides that, manager X can keep a note saying integrity over gain inside his wallet to reinforce self-discipline and moral focus. By practicing this step, manager X can replace his vices with virtue and rebuild his character, while Manager Y remains a model of honesty, courage, and professionalism. Well, that's all for my presentation, and thank you.